Greetings everyone and welcome to episode 123. It's time to put the finishing touches on our LRDG truck, and that's exactly what I'll be doing in this video. Folks, it's been a long journey but an enjoyable one, and time to get some wheels on this truck as well as the last details that need to be added. Now, quite a few things happening in this video. Firstly, I'll be assembling and detailing the seats in the cabin. I'll be adding that famous Bagnall sun compass and the driver's compass. I'll be adding the wheels, detailing them with some custom wheel masks, and then finally a bonus feature, the locker stowage. Now, Christmas is upon us, and guys, if you order 1,000 rands worth of goods from Supernova Studio, and you receive one of these custom candy canes in your parcel, you are automatically entered into a lucky draw for a special prize. What is that special prize? Well, that is up to Santa, depending on whether you were naughty or nice this year. Hopefully you were nice. Guys, now while you're on the Supernova Studio website, also pick up some of this, the Precision Panel Liner from AK Interactive. This is a great product. This is something I'll be using a lot in future. And if you use the promo code PanelLiner Promo, you will get 10% discount off any of the colors available at Supernova Studio. So do grab yours while stocks last. Now, folks, time to put the last details on this truck. This first being the seats, the backrests, and all the parts for this are included on the sprues. And just a matter first, of course, assembling everything, the backrest, the seats themselves, and those frame sections. It will look something like this. And of course, as always, the process starts with a primer coat. There we go, the black primer has been applied. And the next step is some pre-shading with pure white. This is applied with my hardened Steenbeck airbrush. And there we go. The pre-shading applied. The base color that I'll be using is khaki from the model color range, and this is very gradually applied to those seats, not to kill the pre-shading, gradually building up the color, and using my hardened Steenbeck airbrush for this. To add some extra detail, I decided to add some dirt, the dirt color from Model Air. There we go, adding some additional detail to that. And with all this done, I can now pay attention to the frames. Now, the easiest way of getting some color on there is, of course, to use my AK paint markers. In this case, I used gunmetal. And guys, it couldn't be easier than this. Just use the paint marker, apply that acrylic paint, and there you go. This will take me a second. So let's use another color. This one, a type of a tan color if you wish. And same as with the SAS Jeep, I'm going to apply this to the edges of that seat, adding some additional detail. So with the seats detailed and painted, I can now glue them in place inside the cabin of the LRDG wireless truck. And there you go, the passenger with commander seat, a driver's seat. The parts for the Bagnall sun compass and the driver's compass are included in the kit as resin parts, guys, and these are beautifully detailed. I first applied some metal color to that sun compass, something I also covered in the SAS build, and the next step is to apply some bright brass. And for this, I'll be using my Rubloff detail brushes, also available from Supernova Studio. So using my reference images, just applying that brass color and making sure that it looks like the museum example. Now, for the disc in the middle, I'll be using some white gray, and again using a fine detail brush, simply paint this in there using a steady hand. This is not something that you rush. Now, the larger driver's compass was located next to the steering wheel on the F34 truck. And the part for this is included as a resin part. Start off with some brass color there. There are some markings included as decals, but I decided to hand paint this. And why hand paint this? Well, I just like to make things unnecessarily difficult. truth be told, this is very satisfying to do this by hand, and I decided to just give it a try and see if I can do this with a fine detail brush. So that is the compass markings painted in, and the next step is a glass covering, a glass dome on top of this. Guys, for this I used UV resin. This is a product that I've used before in my previous videos, and I love this stuff. This is absolute magic. So very easy to apply. Use a few drops of that resin applied on the compass itself. You can use quite a lot, so it forms a dome, and the resin will cure when exposed to ultraviolet light. In this case, I've got a UV flashlight, and it's just a question of shining that UV light on that resin, and it will instantly cure into a very clear, glassy sort of a look. So there's our compass with the glass dome applied, and certainly looking the part. Loving UV resin. So that's all the compass is done, and we can add them to the cabin of our wireless truck. So that's the end result. Certainly loving that. The seats and the compass is added. Now with this done, I can move on to the wheels, guys, and Thunder Models included a really nice resin wheel set for this kit, and these are beautiful. There's some nice Goodyear markings on the side. The crosshatch tread pattern was recreated very realistically. Some styrene parts as well, and in order to accurately detail these, I decided to look at Dakar races, vehicles that drive in deep sand, and that was my reference for detailing these. Now these aren't weighted, so the first thing that I did was to file the bottoms flat, just to create that illusion of some weight on that tire. As you can see there, it'll stand upright, and that's the weighting done. The next step is to pin them. This serves two purposes. One, it'll make it easier to handle while I'm painting and detailing it, and later on the pins can go into the foam diorama base. So this is something that I started doing in all my builds, make it so much easier just to handle these wheels. Guys, make sure that you use the correct hub section on the correct wheel. There are different ones for the front and the rear, and make sure that you look at the instructions to do this properly. So that's glued in place with some gel type super glue. So with all these wheels assembled, the next step is some primer, in this case Mr. Hobby Black Primer. And the rubber color that I started off with is rubber black from Tamiya, and for the rims, UK Light Stone, the same color as the vehicle color. Now, having primed these wheels, the next step is some pre-shading. Guys, I'm not sure whether this was really effective, but for what it's worth, I applied a little bit of pre-shading to the center of that rim. Again, not sure whether this was really effective, and you'll see later on I actually found better ways of doing this. So with this done, the light stone color can go on next. That is the rim color, the basic rim color. And I then progressed and added some lighter and darker colors to that UK light stone base color, and getting some lighter and darker shades onto that rim. Some lighter shades onto the center section, and darker sections around the edge of that rim. You can see there's the effect. So this is now done. The rim has been painted, and I now need to paint some rubber color on the rest of the tire. Now guys, for this I will need a wheel mask, and I don't have any, so I'm going to make my own. I'm going to use 40mm masking tape and my compass cutter. This is something you've seen me do before. Compass cutter is such a useful piece of equipment, and it allows you to cut perfectly circular portions from masking tape or paper. So measure that rim, divide by 2, and you've got the correct measurement for your compass cutter. So there we go, measurement is dialed in, and it's just a matter of cutting that perfectly circular piece from that masking tape. Now guys, I modified my usual way of working a little bit because there's some protruding parts on the center of that wheel rim, and my solution around this was to make a slight simple cut into the middle of that disc and turn it into a little cone. And this actually made it very easy to fit that onto the rim of the wheel and ensure that there's no paint leaking through onto the rim itself when I sprayed the rubber color later on. So a slight modification to my usual way of working, but this worked really well. The base color, this being rubber black from Tamiya, that's applied next with my airbrush, making sure I get a nice even coat on there. Now guys, an interesting discovery here. I decided to use tire black, a lighter rubber color from Vallejo Model A, and I actually discovered that this works really well with the darker Tamiya color. So I applied this to the sidewall of the tire, just for a little bit of contrast there. You can see the effect there on your screen. Certainly liking that. So that is the result. And the next, I'd like to add some wash color, just to get some black into that tread pattern. For this, I use dark wash from Mech Productions. Applying this with my Rubloff brush, just getting that wash color in there. Final step in detailing is to use my Vallejo dry brush and some neutral gray. There you go, from Vallejo Model Color. And I now gently start dry brushing all the raised detail on this wheel. That Goodyear markings, as well as that tread pattern on that sand tire. And guys, just look at that detail. It's a beautiful detail on this resin wheel included in the Thunder Models kit. The most satisfying part of this hobby, of course, is peeling paint masks. And there we go. Loving that wheel, and that's perfect. Now, of course, these will need to be weathered. I need to get some sand color on there, especially on this section, the flat section of the wheel. Now, for this, I decided to use North Africa Dust. This is a pigment color from Ammo Meg, and I will need to match this with a paint color. Now, I wasn't sure which one would work perfectly, and I tried out 3 different colors: Iraqi sand, some what's that, green ochre, and the final one was ivory or sand. And it was just a case of using some pigment color and seeing which color fit that best, and Iraqi sand won this competition. So that was the color I was going to go forward with. First, some dry brushing, getting that sand color on the tread, on the bottom of that wheel, on the sides, gently building up the color with my dry brush. And with this done, I loaded the same color into my airbrush. And with that done, it was time to load the same color into my airbrush and just spray this on the sidewall of that wheel. So guys, there is the detailed wheel. Certainly happy with this, and it very much resembles my reference images. The final step is to use some precision panel liner. Now, one tip I can give you is to slightly moisten the area where you want to apply this panel liner. This saves you the trouble of having to apply a gloss coat first. And the purpose of the odorless thinner is just to help this panel liner to flow better. You can see there, this works really well. So no need to apply a gloss coat, just a little bit of that odorless thinner. Now, while I still have access to them, I decided to also weather the the inside of those fenders, the wheel wells. And for this, I would use the pigment, the North African dust pigment, and as a fixative, the rain fixer from Vallejo. So mixing this up into a paste, and then using a hard bristled stippling brush, and using the spatter technique just to get that texture into the inside of that fender. Some Iraqi sand applied with my airbrush just to get the color in there to match what was on the wheels. And with this done, I can finally fit the wheels. A little bit of gel type super glue, and finally our truck has a set of wheels. Guys, now for the bonus section. These lockers are still empty. I need some stowage for them. And I was watching a documentary when I saw this little box. Now, you remember in video 119, I used some parts from Italeri just to modify the stowage. And from this, I built a little box. I also used some stowage pieces from Tamiya. And the combination of all this stuff would fill up those lockers nicely, making sure that everything fits properly. There we go. So there's a little box, some parts. This is a biscuit tin from Resicast, and an ordinary tin can from Value Gear. So let's first paint the box using some pre-shading and the wooden color. There we go, applying that with the airbrush. Now this first aid crate or box will of course need a red cross on it, and for that I did some masking. There we go. Also the red for the red cross, and if I did the masking correctly, this should now look very nice on the side of our first aid crate. So let me see what this looks like, peeling that last mask. Yes, and that worked perfectly. Very happy with that. The last step in the process is to apply some wash. For this I used wash for wood from MIG Productions, something I used previously as well. Bringing out that wood grain. It was molded into that styrene beautifully. So there we go, guys. That's our little box, and this is now ready to go into the locker. Just finishing up some last pieces of stowage. Again, I'm going to use my AK precision panel liner, and again moistening the area where I'm going to apply this with some odorless thinner. It saves me the trouble of applying a gloss coat first. So there we go, the odorless thinner has been applied, and next I can use the precision panel liner, and it will nicely flow into place into all the recessed detail of this little piece. These are rolled sand mats. You see them in reference pictures, and I pretty much followed the same procedure, pre-shading, getting the paint on there, and dry brushing and panel lining. So there we go. Those go on top of the fenders where I see them in my reference pictures. This is the biscuit tin, and a quick shortcut for getting some metal color on those edges is to use the side of the AK paint marker. Very easy and a quick way of getting some worn paint on that tin can, the biscuit tin. Folks, and there we go. That is the all the stowage added, the wheels are added, and this finally looks like an LRDG truck from World War II, and I'm loving the detail on this. It was a lot of work getting all the stowage done, but it certainly was worth it. Loving the look of that tires, and this truck is now 95% done. All that remains are the figures, and then this will be done. But certainly having a lot of fun with this build. Guys, reminder, this beautiful kit is available on special from Supernova Studio. If you use the promo code Thunder, you will get a 10% discount off any of the Thunder model vehicle kits on the Supernova Studio website, not just the LRDG trucks. These make excellent Christmas gifts, and do make use of this opportunity to grab yours. This is it then for this video. Thank you for following along. Guys, do check out my Instagram. I post a lot of additional information there, some historical background that won't always fit into the duration of the videos. So do check that out. Thank you for watching.